Hey folks, it's Lindsay Holtz with SPS back in the building over at District 78 for a great time. We're celebrating a young man who's been doing some great things. That's Lewless. He is signed today officially with University of San Diego. We're so proud of him. But here is the man who's been behind him, supporting him since day one. His dad, Lewless, and I have the opportunity to call him a good friend, somebody I can call on when times are tight, and he picks up, and I just appreciate his friendship. But with no further ado, man, congratulations on Chaz making the next step, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, how you feel?
What a day. A little bit overwhelmed.
Overwhelming.
Well, I'm always the one in the stands who's yelling, and pretty soon, he's going to be on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
All the work, all the gyms, all the injuries, all the naysayers,
Didn't we go through something for a little while?
Yeah. Yep. Everyone's got something to say. All of that, and there hasn't been one day since he was 5 years old that I have not thought about this moment.
Wow.
Not one.
And he's how old now?
Vacation. He's 18.
18.
So there has not been one day where I have not thought that, this is going to happen.
And it happened.
And the quick aside is there are, I know you've been to a few spots today.
Yep. We're over at North Farmington.
So to Tyler and Landon over at North Farmington. My guy, Tyler Odie up in Saginaw. Fat. I'm assuming he signed on the west side of the state. There are probably a few that I'm missing, but we have really good basketball players in Michigan. Hey, we all debate over who's best.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, I'll take those guys over a lot of others.
Yeah, I get it.
And all the parents that that have been there, going through all the same stuff that I've been through. Just congratulations to all of them, and you've been a big part of it. Our kids in Michigan, I think, are under-recruited. We had a prep school come, drive, 600 miles to come see us to, get us to go to Wichita, and they said the same thing.
We talked about that with Chad.
So
they said it.
They did. I won't get into all the stuff, but we had a lot of questions about why San Diego.
Like interrogation or just trying to figure out?
Yeah, well, it's not that big, and why are you going out there and your staff?
I told them the colors.
Hey,
colors in the palm tree.
That's right. And as predicted, the bigger schools try to get involved in the spring and summer, and Tyus Edney and Steve Lavin and Ryan Devlin. There are guys out there, and you have to go somewhere where they love you. But I'm getting a little bit, off topic.
No, you're not.
To me, the bigger issue is I wanted to thank all those parents out there that have been through this. Congratulations to all of them, because our sons are going to leave. I don't know what on earth I'm going to do.
We can play golf
fly to the West Coast all the time.
Man, yeah, well, you got a lot of miles. Well, one thing that is underappreciated, man, is that a lot of kids aren't getting Division I offers as incoming freshmen. One common theme I've heard for a lot of kids, and with some of those that you mentioned, I pretty much know all of you. These young men have high character beyond their basketball ability. So what do you say to the parent that's listening, like, man, here SPS again is interviewing one of these parents, and their kid has got a D1 offer, and they kind of made it to go to the next level. What insight information could you give a parent of a young man or a young woman that's trying to emulate what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think the first thing that we've done, and it's hard at times, but we haven't always followed someone else's path.
No, you haven't. You've had a little.
What
success story does?
Maybe a different program. Maybe we played for someone that people didn't think. I think he's going to come down here a little later, but I didn't have a lot of people lining up telling me to go play for George Ward. Your kid's never going to shoot the ball and this and that, but we kind of believe it's not trust the process. It's trust your gut. Look out for your kid, and more than anything, surround your kid with people who love them, who care about them. Okay, the San Diego coaches flew from San Diego to Detroit in February.
I remember that.
Our childhood, watching Tyus Edney go do his thing.
Said he was
so he was front
wheels
me.
right
That's right.
there, front row, watching that. And let me just add too, that has been a common theme I've heard with some of these families and parents about who you surround your kid with. Something we could just say casually, but you're making a good point about how it is. And then I also want to emphasize, good for you, man. I don't know if you was playing checkers or chess, but it looked like a chess move the way, remembering a year ago, because of our relationship, being like an embattled situation for the moves you was making, and then just recently looking at going to a prep school, but deciding to stay. So when all those things are happening, not only do people second guess you, I would imagine you could potentially second guess yourself. Not saying it happened, but to be at this point and everybody like, oh, that makes sense. It should be a good feeling.
There is the now Mike, I don't know what he told you, but my kid clearly wanted to go compete on the NIBC level. I mean, that's something that he wanted to do.
Sure.
They wanted that. There are some times where dads have to be dads, and there are times where there's too much too soon. He's going to get there. I think he's going to play for a person where he can go be successful with earlier.
Right.
And there's some other parents who you've been with, and people, hey, why are you going there? Why are you going there? And they're going to great programs. Like I watch Niagara play on ESPN. Okay, I watch Cleveland State play on ESPN. Those kids are going to great programs, and those two kids at North Farmington, they're going to play right away because they're that good. As opposed to commending both of them, they're not going to search for the big name or bigger name or this, what someone else is doing. Like they kind of went and did their own path, and look good on them. So that's what I would say. Like you gotta go where they love you. Like don't worry about the name on the front.
What does love look like?
It is, Lindsay, we've had this discussion before. There are very few people, whether it's an employee at work, a basketball player, a football player, it's hard to beat a bad situation. My initial, like when San Diego offered and asked for a commit on the day that they offered. Okay, well, tell me about the roster. How long is your contract? Who else are you going to recruit over? What if we commit early?
You're talking like an educated consumer, though. Everybody
you ask about, you can't over advocate for your kids. You simply can't.
Well, sometimes whether it's a male coach, and a single mom, and he's throwing some Boucheron or some Creed cologne, he get them. It's like you've kind of been in the know, and I think that's something other people can take from you as far as the information you're giving. You're not just happenstance, and like you say, it's been since age 5 you've been on this. And I mean, with all due respect to what you've been doing, man, you've been out here coaching from on the West Coast, coaching young people, Paulo and those guys. You've been around this, so that gives a lot of information. So we talked about where he's going to wear that blue, or we call it light blue. We can't call it Carolina blue, right?
No. I'm not familiar with that school. San Diego, it's Torero blue.
Yeah, Torero blue.
Torero
blue. I got it. Well, I appreciate
Torero is a bullfighter. I did not know that.